cheerful morning to you all. Here, as we have covered up the chapters subject and predicate in our previous class, so today we will be taking up the exercises of that chapter. So the topic was subject and predicate, and here we are taking up the exercise, right? And this will be exercise A, and that is on page number 12 in your book. I am repeating, on page number 12 in your book, right? So here the exercise number A is underline the subject and encircle the predicate in each of the following sentences. As I have told you how to identify the subject and predicate in the sentences, so I am sure you will be able to do this exercise very easily. What you are to do, you are to just underline the subject and circle on the predicate, right? So here our first sentence is John plays snakes and ladders. So now here we need to find out the subject first. So what is the subject? Who is doing the action, right? You remember? So here John, who is performing the action? John, isn't it John playing the action? And what John is doing? He is playing snakes and ladders. So plays snakes and ladders will be your predicate, and this is your subject. So here we underline the subject John and we encircle this plays snakes and ladders as predicate. Students, I would like to tell you there that you did the homework and there you were just mentioning this verb plays as the predicate. But mind it, here I even explained you in my previous video that rest of the part along with the verb is predicate. So verb itself and the other words would be there in the part predicate, right? So please don't get confused by encircling plays only, the verb only. So the verb and the rest of the part other than subject would be there in the predicate, right? And one other mistake what you were doing, you were just escaping the, for example the sentence was the teacher is teaching. So you were just mentioning that teacher is the subject. But there even you need to write down the teacher as the subject, right? So you cannot wave off the before that. So here we'll go to second sentence, that is Uncle Pal bought some sweets. So now here what is the action? The action is bought, buying some sweets. So the, buying is the action here, and who did that? Who bought the sweets? Uncle Pal. So here Uncle Pal is your subject, and then what did he do? He bought some sweets. So bought some sweets is the predicate. Very simple. So then third one is Angela and Emmy went to the beach. Angela and Emmy went to the beach. So what action we are talking about here in this sentence? We are talking about going to the beach, right? So who did that action? Who performed that action? Angela. Not only Angela, Emmy too. So here the subject is Angela and Emmy. They both are going to the beach. So they are the subject, that is Angela and Emmy is the subject in this sentence, and then predicate is the rest of the part, that is went to the beach. Here remember verb and rest of the words, right? So then move to the fourth one, that is the Thames is a famous river. So now here what we are talking about, what is the helping verb here? Is the helping verb. We don't have a main action word, so here helping verb is. So now to what this is attached with, about what it is talking. It is talking or it is describing The river Thames. The Thames. So now here the Thames is your subject and rest of the part is a famous river is your predicate. Here it is describing, it is telling more about this subject, the Thames, right? So that is why this has become the predicate. So now next sentence is, the photographer took beautiful photograph, right? So here which action is there? Took beautiful photographs, of taking beautiful photographs. So who performed the action? The photographer. So the photographer is the subject here. And what did he do? He took beautiful photographs. So that is your predicate, right? So you need to encircle that. Then so here the note they have given, these sentences have subjects before the verbs. So here we have subject exactly before the verbs. We need to find out the verb and before that there is subject. And I told you the other kinds even where the subject is not before these verbs. And I told you the examples of imperative sentences too. And I gave you the criteria how to identify subject in interrogative sentences too. So I don't think so that you would be finding any difficulty in that, right? So we'll be doing up that even. So here exercise number B is rewrite the sentences using subjects. So here definitely we might have some imperative sentences where we don't have any subject given in the sentence. So we need to imply it on our own and then we need to write it down along with this statement of imperative sentence. So that is stand straight. So here you may add on you stand straight. I have added on you stand straight because basically it is spoken to the person who is there in front of you. So you would be okay in all the conditions. So that's better to use you. Otherwise you can use some other name even, right? So as you did in your homework. But mind it students, you don't order your elderly persons. So don't use dad and mom here, right? So if it is a pleasing statement, if please is added, then only you can add on elderly person's name. Otherwise please avoid those names. Avoid names of elderly people, right? So because you cannot order your elderly persons. So then stand straight. Here you stand straight. I have taken up open your books. So it is obvious that open your books is told to you only. So you open your books, right? Then the third one is cut the fruit. Again I have taken up you cut the fruit, or you can take some other subject also. Then third one is don't move your legs. So then again you don't move your legs. And then next, write in blue ink. You write in blue ink, right? So here we have completed the exercise B also, and this is also on page number 12 of your book, of which I have sent the PDF also, right? So here we will move to exercise C. And what is the description here? What is the direction here given? Match the subjects with the suitable predicate to form meaningful sentences. So now you have matched the columns exercise, in which you are quite interested to do. Matching exercise is your favorite exercise. So here we have that exercise. So here you have column A and you have column B. So you need to match on the subject with their suitable predicates so that the sentence gives you meaningful sense. So then first one is my dream. So we need to choose which is the correct one from them, right? So my dream, definitely it's your dream, then is to become whatever it should be there. So let's find out if it is like there. Is to become an astronaut, right? So here we got it very easily. So here this would be matched with first, my dream. Jack and Jill, you know this rhyme, Jack and Jill went up the hill. So now we have found the answer of this also, went up the hill, right? Here it is. Then the third one is Malini. Malini, let's find out, is the captain of Indian cricket team? No. R would not be attached with a single person, so no. Is traveling by train? It can be there, isn't it? So we'll be adding on this only. Third, Malini is traveling by train, right? So then Anna and Julie. So now let's find out the answer for this also. Is the captain? No. Are waiting for you? Can be there, isn't it? Because these are two persons, so are waiting for you can be there. So we can attach with it even, are waiting for you. So then next one is MS Dhoni. So MS Dhoni, we know that is the captain of Indian cricket team. So it will be matched with this A part, right? So then sixth one is my favorite food. So now here what are you left with? Where have you been? Cannot be matched with that. Enjoy speaking 4 languages, cannot be matched with that. Our best friends, cannot be matched with that. Discovered America, cannot be matched with that. Is Chinese food is your answer. So here it would be matched with my favorite food. So then seventh one is I, where have you been? Cannot be there. Enjoy speaking 4 languages, this can be done. So here you will be matching on this only with this I, right? And then pussy cat. So now pussy cat, where have you been? You remember that rhyme? So then we have got this answer for pussy cat. And then number 9, John and Gray. So which options we are left with? Our best friends discovered America. So we know that they didn't discover America. So now our best friends is the correct option for this. So Columbus, we know that he discovered America. So that is done, right? So this was your exercise number C, which is on page number 13 in your book. So now we will be doing exercise D. So what is the direction here? Underline the subject in each of the following interrogative sentences. So now here you need to underline the subject, and this is the case of interrogative sentences. And I have given you good training for that. So here, are you going on a picnic? So now this is a question with a helping verb. So here it is quite easy to find out. So after the helping verb, you would find your subject, that is you. Basically about what, about whom you are asking. Who is going for a picnic? You. It is question asked to you. So then you is the subject here in this sentence. So you need to underline the subject. So then next sentence is Priya the best dancer in the class? This I have taken in the example also. Is Priya the best dancer in the class? So now leave the helping verb and then try to find out a noun or a pronoun. Yes, there is a noun. So you need to recheck it with a question. Is this question the best dancer in the class relates to Priya? Yes, it relates to Priya. So then Priya is your subject. So then third sentence is, has Madhu finished her work? Leave this helping verb, has, right? Then try to find out noun or a pronoun. We have got it, Madhu. So now recheck it with a question. Madhu finished her work relates to Madhu? Yes, it relates to Madhu. Then Madhu is the subject here in the sentence. Then the fourth one is, did Rahul arrive on time? So here again helping verb, try to spot, that is did. So after did, noun Rahul. So then you need to recheck it with a question. Arrive on time relates to Rahul? Yes, it relates to Rahul. Then Rahul is your subject in this sentence. So here even you have got it very easily. Then fifth one is, can Nikhil help her again? So now, can Nikhil help her again? Spot this helping verb first, that is can. Leave it, find out the noun Nikhil. So recheck it with the question, help her again relates to Nikhil? Yes, it relates to him. So then it is the subject. Nikhil is the subject here. Then sixth one, did Sharma fall off the stairs? So here we need to find out the helping verb first, that is did, and then noun Sharma. So recheck it with a question, that is fall off the stairs relates to Sharma only. The answer is yes. So here it is the subject. So now the seventh sentence, where are you shifting to the US? So here, minded students, this is the question of WH family. So here you need to be bit more cautious. You need to find out whether after helping verb, whatever noun or a pronoun is used, whether that noun or a pronoun relates to the question or not. If it relates to, then it's okay, then that is your subject, and if it doesn't, then WH family word is your subject, right? So here we need to find out the helping verb, that is are, and pronoun after that is you. So recheck it with a question, shifting to the US. So are we talking about you shifting to the US? Yes, we are. So here you is your subject, right? And then the eighth one is, can you call them again? So here again the helping verb is can. And then again you will find out noun or a pronoun, that is you. And then recheck it with a question, call them again relates to you or not. Yes, it is told in context of you only. So here the subject is you, right? So with this we have covered up our exercise part D, and which is on page number 13. So after that what you will be doing? You will be doing your fun corner exercise, which is on page number 14. So that you will be doing in homework. Thank you.